Back to Gategully on one of those days when I've not loaded up the game before starting recording. There you go. Sometimes that's how I do things. I was going to do my usual Gategully is a Dwarf Fortress Let's Play from My Convenient Enough Dice spiel. So that's out of the way. Oh, I should have just waited. In theory I could stop recording and start recording again, but man. So, unpause. So here we are. What I was doing last time was I was just doing a bit of reorganization and prettying up some space. I'm just going to, because I'm basically realised that I actually didn't have enough beds for my poor little dwarfies. So in a kind of fit of actually caring about them, I ordered some areas to be dug out. And I actually think this is, I think we're actually more or less okay now. This is probably actually more than I need. But that's okay. This is just going to give them some options. And I'm not going to use my master beds. Although, you know, the reason I'm keeping the master beds that I've got because I'm kind of trying to make royal apartments, because the goal is to become mountain home, and then possibly start up another playthrough of something. Not necessarily. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So remove the building. Right, there we go. So I actually accidentally used one of my master beds. Not that I need more than one, but I happen to have two. So I probably have enough already in terms of stuff. Not talking about beds specifically here, but I probably have enough things, specifically in terms of beautiful statues and stuff, to make my royal apartments royal, which is my eventual goal. Because you need to get the value of their room up to quite a high level. Oops, that's not what to do. H container. You need to get the actual value of everything in that room up to a certain level, and in order to do, my masterwork this, masterwork that, but actually the base value of a bed, because it is made of wood, is really not that much. It doesn't add that much to the cost of the room. And unlike, because you can make coffers out of things other than rock. You can make them out of metal, and specifically because the valuable metal I have in my fortress is steel. So if I want to make, so when my I can't make a master bed that will noticeably add to the value of the eventual royal apartments. So it probably doesn't matter if I make it just doesn't matter whether or not I make masterpiece beds, and if I accidentally use one of my masterpiece beds here in my kind of just ordinary dwarf quarters, and I'm also making a point of not using my masterwork diorite coffers, or my masterwork stone coffers, but that's exactly as pointless, because the base value of rock is very low. it actually doesn't matter. And yet, I still seem to think it's important enough to, you know, avoid it. Oh, no, that's not going to work, is it? So there you go. So everyone is going to end up with a bed and a coffer. And then there's going to be a great big long delay when I completely forget I've done this, and I wonder, you know, I'll just look at this stuff and go, wait a minute, and then I'll realise that I've actually not made any of them into bedrooms. Yeah, and so I'm also smoothing it all out. I might engrave it, so my dwarves are going to have nice, lovely rooms to sleep in. I'm also digging a big corridor here to the actual bedrooms, because before they kind of have to get. I mean, it's not. I mean, I do have other bedroom places. Like this is one of the bedrooms, but this. Yeah, but I really need to make more than you know. I think it's only a couple of, maybe a dozen dwarves who don't actually have a bedroom. But I mostly found it. I found this out, you know, obviously when I made this lot down here. That's still got that job down there. So I'm just very quickly checking that lever because I want to close that trapdoor before opening that door, so that people can get that pile of stuff. But you know, I built some rooms down here for my eventual, you know, go down into the depths and never come out again, metalsmith and metal smelter squad. So there's going to be a group down here. So they've got a dining room and they've got they've got stockpiles of drink and of food. And something just happened. Damp stone. Okay, yeah, this area is going to be damp. But that's actually okay, I'm going to leave that. Yeah, okay. This was one of my attempts to deal with the dread aquifer. And it turned out that this is aquifer or something. Somehow this lets people in. Yeah, so they're gonna just cancel the jobs that correspond to that stone. They're going to cancel those jobs because it's damp. They can actually tunnel quite neatly enough because, in fact, when dwarves tunnel, they leave a small floor behind. So, you know, 2 Z levels aren't connected unless you dig a channel. So that's in fact not a problem. But I mean, it's very much not a problem. I mean, I'm not particularly losing anything by, even if I just don't have all that dug out. That's only a small area that won't be getting dug out, so it's not going to be a huge like traffic bottleneck. So, you know. And if I really feel the need, I can. That's not what I wanted to do. So, build H container, and I just make sure it's not that bag. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. So there you go. One more? No, 2 more. This one, I think. And then I can head over here. I've got quite a lot of masterwork. That's right. And you need about 5 or 10 or some ridiculously large number for your royal apartments. So I made a bunch of Masterwork rock coffers, but Masterwork rock coffers are actually not really worth that much. Yeah, so if I go, say, here, and just pretend I'm going to do a coffer, I can view the item. It's like, that's worth 120. Ooh. 120. Let's look at this one. This is not Masterwork. It's worth 50. It's 30. You know, I don't know if I got any ordinary, really boring ordinary coffers, but there you go. A very boring ordinary coffer is worth 10. You know, so by going from Masterwork, I've gone from it being worth 10 to it being worth 120. Which one I've got to make a value of, I think, 10,000, something like that. I seem to call it something along those lines. You've got, trying to remember exactly how much it is. But I think grand is 2,000 dwarf bucks worth of stuff, whereas a royal is like 5 times that, so it's like 2,000. 10,000, sorry. I think it is. I think it's on that level. Can't fucking look it up. So, if and when it becomes autumn and the dwarf caravan turns up, and I give them some stuff, so I'm making a point of making rose gold, you know, crafts of the various precious metals I have, because I'm making a point of making crafts out of valuable stuff, so that I got lots of valuable things that I can give away to the dwarven caravan. Because if you go to the noble screen, you'll notice that there's a C becoming capital, and I've got to have at least this much architecture, 10,000, of which I have. So I've got 231,000. So I'm doing okay there. But you need to offer stuff to the dwarven caravan, 7,500, and I have not done that yet. So that's the thing I need to do. That is kind of my next step. Cancel. Can I reach site? J. Q-Ped. So I've got a couple of... Oh no. Construct bed. Go to Bullen. No, that's the... That's not that. The job there, that's the actual building of the bed itself. That's not the... that job there is the building of it, the building of the bed itself, as opposed to the constructing it. So let's make some bedrooms. You notice there aren't any doors. I read about vampires once, and the whole thing of having to deal with vampires just didn't appeal to me at all. So I've decided I kind of don't want to deal with it, and the reason, so you don't give your dwarves any privacy whatsoever, because that the vampires will, if they've got doors, they can kill folk behind closed doors, which is kind of bad. Can't reach site. The other possibility is the problem is way down here. But it shouldn't be. No, that's not the case, because these have all in fact been built, so it must be one of those ones upstairs. But it's not showing up in the... It's not here. Construct building. That one. That's the one that's broken. So it's down as construct building. know why anyone... You can quite clearly get to that site. I'm not quite sure what the problem is there at all. That was a strange thing. And I've learnt a new thing today, which is that the job for making a bed is not, in fact, construct bed. It is construct building. Now I'm going to dig through these, and because I've designated them, knowing full well that they're damp, I shouldn't get any cancellation messages. And I'm of the opinion that everything will be fine, and I will not flood my entire dungeon. It's just, if I go up a level, it's these areas here that are damp. I'm not quite sure why they're damp. I mean, yeah, the aquifer is around here, but the stone. This is stone. I don't know where that water's coming from. Because I thought aquifer, it all had to be, like sandstone and loam and stuff like that. But apparently not. Okay, so we're gonna get a smoothing order for along here. I mean, in theory, this is the problem that I got a bottleneck right here, but shouldn't actually be a problem. That Gabra floodgate is not, in fact, installed. That is not installed floodgate, or is it? It was. It was an installed building. I thought it wasn't. I don't know how many of you remember, or how many of you watching, but this was an area of, I mined it out with ilmenite, for limonite, and I can't remember exactly what I managed to do, but up here, up one level here, this is definitely aquifer, right? So this is when I was trying to pierce the aquifer. And what I was trying to do was, I'd managed to lose some people in here, and they died, and their bodies couldn't get access to it. I was trying to build a huge, big, long, tunnel, basically down to the bottom here. I forgot beast. I'm gonna try something. Basically, so that and then there's going to be there's a grate here, and the idea was that well, that's not what I wanted to do. Just see if that door's openable. It is. I'm installing I'm getting my military to stand here on top of that grate in the hopes that they will be able to shoot this forgotten beast. But hey. Anyway, yeah, so I had this area that's all dug out, and as part of trying to, I can't quite remember what I managed to do, but I managed to flood this whole area. So this is all flooded, so I had to build a floodgate there. In fact, in the end, I just built that door, and then I did a cunning arrangement here involving a grate there and a little kind of dogleg, and that then went into the big tube, which I sort of blocked off. That took ages, and then careful digging out, and eventually building this wall combination here, because that blocks that dam. And so this then all, I was able to drain this area and then block it off, and then so it's now open and available, but not doing anything with it. What are you doing? Okay, you're destroying the building. Are you going all the way around that way instead of just going to there? Dwarves are so strange. Yeah, so those are important walls that I don't want to get rid of. Let's quickly check to see if any of these places need to be made into... Have any new beds been installed? Oh. Yeah, just quickly make those into bedrooms. I almost certainly now have enough bedrooms. Oh no, okay, not everyone has a bedroom yet. So if I hit A to assign the bed, anyone who's got a bed is brown, anyone who doesn't have a doesn't have a bed is green. So you can see there are actually a fair few people who need to have beds. Oh, hang on. The pub operator is fighting. Enter. Oh, he's killing a kakapo. Well, that went well. Sorry, R is the the combat log. So it's the 13th of Malachite 138. So Crundles were fighting something, and then Elkbirds were fighting something, so on and so on and so forth. Wonder what the Crundles were fighting. No reason to know. Okay. Yeah, I just just that thing. It was like, oh my god, have I missed a fight? Because that's one of the ways you get when you suddenly you realise you don't actually have protection against like some kind of forgotten beast is all of a sudden there's a fighting announcement that you've lost, and you haven't seen, and oh goodness me, suddenly there's this really bad thing. I'm actually going to make this area restricted, because really no one should be coming into this area unless they have a very good reason. I mean, in theory, my frame rate woes could entirely be down to lousy traffic designations. Way down here on my F7, I've got all these caverns, which in theory, occasionally dwarves will try and pathfind through because they're stupid, and they'll pathfind through just random stupid places. And it is useful to block off those areas. Make sure they don't pathfind into stupid places that you don't want them to go to, because that costs precious CPU cycles. So you end up, with problems. You end up with things that they're trying to go places where they really can't go, and then it's all kind of pointless. Right, so that's coming along nicely. Let's go down to the bottom of the world. See how that's one of the oh, well, there it goes. DS. Make sure this is down to be smooth as well. Some of these guys are going to have quite nice rooms because they're going to have smoothed and engraved walls made of ore, so they're going to have quite nice rooms. What am I doing? No. What am I trying to do? Q. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find out what dwarf this is. Oh, that's not a bedroom yet. That's not a bedroom. Oh no, I don't want to make them bedrooms. until I know who I want to be in that, I don't want, until it's given to somebody, I don't want anybody in it. So I've put all my smiths into rooms. What I'm doing here is I'm checking to see if I've got anyone with the nickname Smith who currently does not have a room. I wonder if dwarven children get their own beds. They might not. The dwarven children might just be clogging up this list. But that's okay. If that's what's going on, that's what's going on. Yeah, so I think the legendary stonecrafter, he's called legendary stonecrafter, or she is called legendary stonecrafter precisely because it's a child who got a strange mood, and thus became a legendary craft person, but completely pointless from my point of view, because they're not old enough to actually make anything. So it looks like dwarven children don't get rooms. That's interesting. So I want to free that lad. So I've got some number of smiths. I've got one smelter, one smith, two smiths, three smiths, four smiths. I think that's it. I think that's right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 smiths down here. I think that's who I had chosen. And so I'm going to want a dedicated hauler down here as well, if for no other reason than to pull that bloody lever whenever I tell them to, because that's the delivery slot for stuff from way upstairs. So they should get the idea is to make it easy for them to get it all. But that lever opens up that grate, which you can't see because it's actually a hatch, not a grate. And I want them to move. I want somebody moving, stuff from here to here into these 2 quantum stockpiles, moving finished goods from the forges downstairs up into here, that kind of thing. But I can work on that later. Once I've decided who I want to be down here. So the main thing to do is to to get my main dwarves down here. The dwarves I want down here. So their bedroom is here, and their work is down here. So they shouldn't need it to go upstairs. I haven't burrowed them at the moment, which is going to be the next step, is to actually make a burrow and put all my smiths down here. So, I think I've made the burrow. Yeah, I've made the burrow, I just haven't assigned anyone to it yet. Magma forges. Just got to add these rooms to the burrow. There you go. See, I've got 2 smelters, 2 magma smelters, and some magma forges. That should be enough. Should be enough. So I'm actually making, statues and doors and things in here. So, let's see, what steel doors, those are finely crafted. A hyphen is well crafted. Do you have any equals? Do you have any? There's a triple equals. That's 1500. That's exceptional. Superior. That's a single asterisk. Finely crafted. So. Okay, so it's single hyphen, double hyphen, triple hyphen, then plus, then star, and then finally, you see the difference. 750 base value, 1200, 2002. Oh, go star then. Oh, it's a steel door. Okay. So a simple steel statue is 750. With a single hyphen, it goes to 1500, which is quite good. 2,250. So that's times 5 for a plus. And a star is 3,000. So if it is like to make my royal apartment, it's 10,000. Given I've already got, it's a fairly large room to begin with. It's 5 by 5, and it's all engraved, and all the engravings were done by a legendary smith, a legendary engraver. I probably only need a few of those lovely statues, and everything's fine. Yeah, I'm sorry, just looking this up off on another screen. It's 10,000 I need. Grand is 2,500, so it's times 4 to go to royal. So, if it comes down to it, I've got a fair supply of, really quite nifty. These pluses are worth 2,250, which is pretty good. So I don't need to make very many of those before I've got enough. And I've got some, very nice ones, which are 3,000. So all I really need is a few of those in each room, and it's going to have the quality that I need. This is my quantum stockpile. This is my quantum stockpile for furniture, so statues are going to end up here. So there you go. There's a nice statue, 3,000. Even the steel doors is worth 1,200. So each room is going to have 1 or 2 doors, depending. Thing is, the chert coffer. That's a really nicely made chert coffer. It's only worth 50, and it's completely pointless. It's a waste of my time. Granite coffer, 40. Complete waste of my time. I don't know why I bothered with it. What I should really be doing is making all of these things out of steel, because steel is awesome. But even a basic steel statue starts at 750. 7-1 of the date of Chaos Ward Forges depicted as a famous dwarf in steel. 7-1 is screaming. So I think I've got that sorted. I mean, it's mostly a case of in workflow, which is the DF hack plugin workflow. If I sort by things that need the most attention, I don't have any masterfully made statues or doors, which is what I'm aiming for. But they automatically make, they're just going to keep making doors until they get them, making doors and statues. So I'll have a nice big range, and I can also use those statues, here. So I've got some nice statues around here. My silver ones, because I would have thought silver. My logic was like silver should be just gorgeous. Why wouldn't you want to use silver? And it turns out that silver's pants. That's silver with decoration, and it's only worth 290. A straight up silver statue is worth 270. In fact, that's not straight up. That's a decorated statue as well. So an ordinary statue with some, Brionnette cut memorials. But this iron statue is worth 250. That's a completely fairly boring iron statue, and it's worth about the same as a silver statue with things on it. It's kind of silly. So if I want my dwarves to be dead happy, here's just ordinary steel statue, 750. So if the value of it changes, how much value they get out of it, do they get happier thoughts because it's a valuable statue? Well, then steel is the way to go, and silver's completely pointless. which is interesting to me. Gold is more valuable. Gold is actually a worthwhile step up, but I just don't have any. So, there's that. Well, I certainly don't have very large amounts of it. I mean, I've got a few bars here and there, but there we go. It really doesn't like going through the thread. I think the thread has this problem. There's like 6,000 used up thread, or thread I can't get access to, or something. And so every time I kind of zoom through this, it takes a little while. Basically, you got tons of iron bars, you've got lots of silver bars, but silver bars really aren't all that good for me. And copper again, not very interesting. But I only have like a few electrum and some aluminium and some billion, and I've got gold bars and bits and pieces there, here and there. So I've set my dwarves to making them. Someone's actually making rose gold crafts. There you go. But I've now made it so all my magma smelters are downstairs. What are these flashing O things? That's interesting. I don't know. Silver bars, bronze bars, pig iron bars, wood furnace. This is where my smelters were, which is why a whole bunch of garbage. They were full of stuff, and so when you disassembled them, all the stuff exploded. And I've got 20 idlers out of my 100 workable dwarves. Although I don't know if the children are counted as idlers in that, because basically I don't think I have set up my. I do not believe I've set up my workers very, very well. I use the dwarf therapist optimization thing, and I probably have screwed up the specific optimization. But there you go. It's one of those things I need to work on. But it's like every time I go through and say, okay, who's got not very many jobs that I can make into haulers, and I can think, oh well, actually, I actually do want them doing stuff. I don't want them. I don't want that person to be taken away from their actual job, whatever it is. Like they're miners, so if I don't have any mining to do at the minute, well, I don't want to make them into haulers, because I might suddenly want to mine things, and I don't want them to be hauling, and oh well, maybe not this person, and oh well, maybe not this person, and so on and so on and so forth. It's actually pretty stupid, and has the potential to cause problems. But never mind, eh? Let's see if any of these. I think I already said those. So any of these, yeah, that's new. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that actually so I'm getting a lot of beds here. They're available, but no one's taking them. So it's possible that everyone who can want a bed has got one. It's possible that if my fortress lasts long enough, that I start getting children growing up and wanting their own bedrooms, then that might be where my problem is. But I'm suddenly going to need a whole bunch of bedrooms then. And obviously, if somehow the dwarven economy ever kicks in, which I don't think it's going to, because I'd have to start making coins, and I'm not doing that. One of the aspects of the dwarven economy is that you suddenly need to have low rent housing. You need to have social housing that dwarves can afford, because the quality of the room determines how much rent there is, and they get money from doing whatever jobs they do. So you're going to end up with dwarves who make a ton of money because they do really, really valuable stuff, and you're going to end up with poor dwarves who don't make enough money, and therefore they can't afford nice rooms, and therefore they get chucked out, and they become unhappy, and eventually they riot, and you don't want that. So you have to make horrible, awful rooms, foot walls, which is essentially what these things are. I mean, possibly even giving them a coffer is too much. But to a very large extent, I want the coffers because I want those because I don't want to have all their clothing just scattered around whenever they decide they don't want a piece of clothing. They just drop it on the floor. Whereas if they've got a place to put it, they might put it in there. What are you complaining about? That's the wrong thing. Oh, I have a sneaking suspicion someone's got the bin. Yeah, someone's... Oh no, we don't have the electric bars anymore. Gold bars. Why? I've ended up with native gold blocks. I don't know how I managed that. Rose gold bars. Okay. Well, fine. But I'm getting those crafts, which is nice. So when and if, I mean it is midsummer, I'm waiting for it to be early autumn. When and if the Dwarven Caravan turns up, I should have some nice things to give away. I guess if it comes down to it, I just give them a ton of, if I'm really, really upset, or if I really, really am desperate to give them stuff so I can impress everyone at home, then I just give them like some steel bars or something. I'm just going to put a cut more on repeat. What I would really like, one of those many little user interface things that I kind of wish you had, was just cut whatever gems are available, would you please? So what have we got? I've got Morion and Pipe Opals, some Amethysts and some Zircons. You know, just whatever rough gems you've got, would you please just cut those? But you've got to cut them, you've got to put them down as, you've got to have them down very, very specifically. Please cut this gem, please cut this gem. You can't just say, please cut whatever. Which is slightly aggravating. What I am going to do is I'm going to unsuspend encrust furniture, because they will have said that they don't have any furniture to encrust. Which actually, now I'm thinking about it, they might not do. Because I'm suddenly realising that actually they may have already encrusted everything. See, and yeah, this is a masterwork diorite armour stand. Yeah. Encrusted with gems, worth 140, which is just useless. Gabbro coffin. Useless. Shirt weapon rack, 140, useless. Yeah, I should be making all these things out of steel. But hey, I need to get around to doing that. But it's just getting around to adding the orders. Will someone pull that bloody lever? Move that lever, you twit. What I could do is I could check. See the upper shaft dump, which is that one. I know it's got zero input in it at the minute, so I can reasonably safely open this door. And you know, in theory, have things moved out. But of course, you know, without having very many people idle, well, yeah, people doing things, I just don't seem to have enough haulers. Yeah, that's a thing I need to look into. Well, I'm not going to look into it now. I think that's not bad for today's episode. So, thanks so much for watching. If you happen to enjoy these episodes, like and subscribe. And if you happen to be interested in tabletop role-playing games, then you can find us at www.neededupdice.com, where we have a podcast-themed, role-playing game-themed podcast and blog and various other bits and pieces. So, I hope you'll join me again next time, as I inch more and more towards making making Gategully into the mountain home. I should look at that person who seems to be angry, but I'll check that out later. Yep. Anyway, so until then, do have yourselves a very dwarfy day.